room full. Got a room full here at Velma Jackson. We're recording this for our seniors, class of 2022 here at Velma Jackson High School. And we thank you so much for joining us today after your adventures you've had the last few years in the Navy, and now we can say officially a veteran, getting into nursing. So, like everybody else here, when you were a senior in high school, you were also in my class. So you've been sitting exactly where they were sitting, even though it was at a different school, at Raymond High School. And we've been talking about military options. We've had Thursday, we had a speaker who was a former student who's in the Air Force, and he chose to go the entire route. He wants to stay until he's 38 and retire after 20 years. But obviously, the military, that's not necessarily the need for everyone. So a little bit about your decision to join the Navy out of high school and what it led to and what you did and all the good and the bad and the ugly of it.
Okie doke. Well, I joined the military right out of high school. They were offering the ASVAB for us, so I took it at the school. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. They were offering it at the school. I took it. I originally didn't have plans on joining the military, but I knew some people that went like a year before me, and they looked like they were doing well. So I was like, why not? I don't want to go to school. I don't know what I do outside of school. So I joined. I love the experience. I love like the training that I got, the people that I got to see and meet, just that part of it. The military itself wasn't particularly for me to commit to, just because a lot of the things and how I don't want to say too much, would sound like I'm bashing them, but the way they operate and do a lot of stuff just didn't line up with my views. So I felt that in my beliefs, I felt that it was best for me to separate. However, I do feel like that I made the best decision for myself. I get free healthcare out of it.
Wow.
Housing, as far as getting my I'm in the process of getting a degree right now. So as long as I'm in school and the school accepts the GI Bill, I'm able to use that. That provides funding for my housing. The training I got, I can do it in the civilian world, and I make a decent amount of money doing what I did. So even if you're just thinking about doing it to figure it out, it does help you set a good foundation moving forward if you decide to go a different route.
Yeah, and like everybody here, you grew up in a rural area in Mississippi. I know you're on the kind of the other side of the metro, but you wanted to get out of Mississippi, but you didn't want to jump into a bunch of student loans, and you were able to go to San Diego and get medical training. And I don't know how long you were in, but it's a little bit different culture in the West Coast than it is in Mississippi.
It is. It was definitely a culture shock. So I got my training in two places. I trained in Texas and San Antonio first. And since I have a specialty, I was able to get transfers to San Diego to complete the rest of my training. And that's where I picked up orders while I was out there. But it's definitely good to like the travel that you get to experience while you're in is a plus. It does have its cons though, because you're not going to be traveling for free. Obviously, you have a reason to go, but it's still good, to get that experience, and you still have fun while you're out there anyway. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. And you were not a ship position. So I know the Navy likes to push like it's fun on the ship, you have fun and all, but you were a land position. Like my uncle was a captain in the Navy, and he had a land position before he moved off the submarine. So it's not all shooting torpedoes and blowing stuff up and being out on the wide open seas. There's a lot of land jobs as well.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the only time I held a gun was in training, just to get my qualifications. But it's definitely like you're not going to be at war. It's not, it's not hectic and crazy like you would think. I worked in a hospital my entire time. I've never been on a boat. I've never been deployed, but it is always an option.
Yeah.
My first option was shore duty instead of sea duty. So I completed my shore. My next requirement would be to go out to sea. However, I was not comfortable on the boat. So that's another reason I decided to get out. But it's definitely, if it's something that you're considering, it's worth it. If you're considering it, you might as well just do it anyways, because it is a good opportunity. It opens a lot of doors. You meet a lot of people. I don't know if you guys know how networking works, but it's meeting people, and just networking alone can open doors for you that degrees can't.
Absolutely.
So,
And it's a lot cheaper.
yep, it is.
All right. So after you got out and now you are in nursing school here at
Mhm.
Hines. So the skills you got being a hospital corpsman in the Navy, how does that transfer over into being a nurse once you finish your RN?
So I'm not in the program yet. I'm having to take prereqs.
Yeah, well,
So yeah. So with my classes, the training that I have in the military translates over into college credits that I would need for the nursing program.
okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't meet the deadline for mine just because I was out for a minute. But once you get those classes done, you can actually do school while you're in the military. So as soon as you get those credits, you can upload it and start school, and you will have like a decent amount of credit hours already towards a certain degree, depending on what your job is.
Yeah, and then also once you do complete your program, how was the military experience on top of the degree going to help you get those civilian jobs that have the similar qualifications?
I'm first priority every time.
Exactly. So and again, it's like you said, you were not looking to make a career out of the military. It was you used it to get, go somewhere else in the United States for a short time,
Mhm.
some on the job training that you got paid for, and now you're going to school for free. So that's the main thing we want to talk about, is just the options that kids have. You don't have to jump into a 4-year unit. I mean, if you want to, that's fine, but you don't have to jump into the 4-year university. And you were a good student. It wasn't like you had bad grades, but you
Mhm.
have to figure out what path is most affordable. Because we have kids here. They say, "Well, I don't want to go to college; it's too expensive." Well,
Yeah.
there's options. The options you can do, and now you're going and getting a nursing degree for free.
Yeah. And you actually don't have to wait. Like if you decide to go into the military and still want to do college, you don't have to wait until your contract is over to access those benefits. You can do college and the military and get out of the military with a degree, military training. So like you're already prepared, especially if you're lucky enough to get a job very similar to what you're getting your degree in. You already got the work experience, you got the degree, you're a veteran, you're ready to go. It's there. So yeah, the military definitely is an option if school is not one for you first.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get ahead. I have a friend, she went to college, she got a degree, she has a nice job, but she still she has 2 jobs to support herself. I went to the military, no college degree. I'm currently not working right now, and I make enough money to support myself and to help others whenever I can. So weigh your options out, think about it, and see which one, aligns with what you're thinking about doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it depends on if you want to have a family or what you want your work schedule to be. Now, I know you got out, and how long were you in? 4 years?
Wow.
5 years. Okay. I know you were in just 5 years. Now, if you'd have chosen to stay in, and I know, you didn't want to be a ship person, just from what you've seen and heard, what kind of travel is the person on the ship going to have? Is it you get to see all over the world, or is it, just confined to one area?
You get to go and see a lot of places. We hit a lot of ports. We On the ship, you hit a lot of ports. I know you have Dubai is one, Bahrain is one, Hawaii, Guam. I'm trying to think of Japan, and
Right.
Japan is fun. I heard you get to go a lot of places. Like a lot of your time will be out to sea, but once you hit those ports, you can get out, go enjoy yourself, experience, different people, different cultures, really get yourself like rounded as a person as well, with the different experiences you get to see. So yeah, the travel on deployment is nice.
Yeah, and we actually have a couple students that are watching now that they're dead set on joining the military. One wants to join the Air Force, another one wants to join the Army. So, what should they know ahead of time when they're getting ready? They're getting to graduate here in a few months. What should they know as they're preparing to join the military right out of high school?
To be honest with you, expect the unexpected. There's no way to prepare for it because it's different from everybody. I know my first day in boot camp, I was watching people, and just to see everybody's reaction was so different on like the first day. So I can't really tell you how to prepare because I'm pretty sure they tried ways, and it's overwhelming when you first go. It's new. Just be prepared to grow. That'll be my biggest thing. I can tell you from, even if you decide not to go all the way through it, the person you are before you go versus the person you will be after, it'll be completely different, but it'll be for the good though.
Absolutely.
Nothing bad.
Oh, I do have some questions I want to get to, and these are all seniors. But this is Isaac Thomas, and he asked, how has the training you got in a naval hospital helped prepare you for nursing school?
So I'm a certified surgical technologist. So when the doctors are getting ready for a surgery, I prepare the instruments. I hand him his instruments. Sometimes I assist performing on the patient. Just depends on what it is. So being in the hospital setting, you have to become familiar with medical terminology. And after doing seeing stuff so much, repetition is how you learn, is how you get it embedded. So even though my job isn't considered, I'm not a nurse, I see what the nurse is doing. I help her doing it. So I'm like, it's not when you're in the military, you work as a team. What I'm trained on is not necessarily everything that I do. I do other stuff too. It's been times where I've had to go in and do the nurse's job or vice versa. So that's why I said expect the unexpected. You'll go in thinking this is my job, this is what I'm doing, and you'll end up probably doing something completely different. But it's worth, it'll get you, it's right.
That's awesome. This is Makala Garrett, and she asked, when you left high school, what made you choose the Navy over the other branches?
So actually, I wanted to join the Marine Corps because I like the way their uniforms were. That's the honest truth. All of it's the military. It pretty much operates the same. Some branches are a little bit more relaxed. Air Force and Navy being one, military and Army being, the more stricter ones. And I wanted to do something in the medical field. The Marine Corps doesn't have anything in the medical field. The Navy, that we provide them all their medical services. So the Navy was the next best option.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand the Marine Corps is actually a division of the Navy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, you're right. If a Marine person's in the hospital, they're at a naval hospital.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jasmine Williamson. She's Miss Velma Jackson 2022, and she was planning to join the Air Force and is also interested in nursing. And this is her question: is why was the Navy only a short-term goal and not something you wanted to do for a long time?
As I said before earlier, just the way it operated in certain things that they didn't align with my beliefs.
Well, but you say that, but that's also great that you had that option. I'm a big believer there should always be choices. So it's good to know that you knew that you had a timetable and that you were able to release and do other things, but you still had the military benefits and the military training. This is Derek Bush, and he asked, did someone help you with the idea to go to the Navy? Did someone help you with the idea to go to the Navy, or did you come up with the idea on your own?
Someone gave it to me. No intentions on it. I saw my friends going. They looked like they were having a good time. The money looked nice. I was like, okay, you know what? I can do it. If they can do it, I can. And I went.
This is LaTravis Williamson, and he asked, how did you come to terms to realize you had made a great start to your career?
To realize that I did?
Yes.
When I realized all the doors that being in the military was opening for me. Just mentioning that now I go out in town, I meet certain people, and it's like, oh, you're a vet? Yeah, I'm a vet. And it's a part of like networking. I realized like this was a good option for me. It just the opportunities that came while I was in, even the opportunities that are opening for me now, it's been great. So
That's
I
awesome.
know that was, yeah, it was a good choice.
That's awesome. This is Janisa White, and she's interested in going into the nursing field. But she asked, what's the most challenging part of being a surgical tech?
Ooh. Repetition. That's another reason I decided to get out because it all kind of goes together. You end up doing like the same stuff a lot over and over, like your job. Trust you do other stuff, but you'll end up doing your job most of the time always the same. And I'm a spontaneous person. I like freedom. I like being able to do certain things. And the hardest thing is depending on what service you do, with your surgical tech position, like it's different. Dental work, I was in ears, nose, and throat. So all of my cases I did was in this area. After a while, I was like, okay, I'm tired of looking at noses all day. I want to look at something else. I want to do something. So repetition is like the biggest part, the most like the hardest part to get over. Learning about it was easy because once you get the hands-on experience, it becomes muscle memory.
Yeah.
You can do it. I can go and screw up a case right now still with my eyes closed. So
I'm sure.
once you got it, you got it.
Now, once you got out, what drove you to get into nursing? Because I know when you were a senior in high school, that was not your plan.
No, it wasn't. I realized how much I enjoyed being in that position, in that role. Especially when the outcome is great. Most of my patients that we worked on had like terminal illnesses. And going in, knowing that you came back and you may not have completely changed the situation, but you made the outcome greater. That was like one of the best feelings that you can get from the job.
That's awesome. And I think that's important to understand, the demands are extremely high for any job in the Navy, but the rewards are so great.
Yep.
And then in the nursing field the nursing field is the same way. But Jelly, we're almost out of time, and we thank you so much for joining us. But before we go, I do have to ask, I cannot believe it's been 7 years because this is my 7th year.
Don't say that because it is.
I cannot believe it's been 7 years because this is my 7th year here at Velma Jackson, and you were with me 2014, 2015. Now, as somebody that was a senior in high school and sat in my class just like everybody else did now, how much of what I told you about life was actually true?
All of it. All of it. I don't want responsibilities anymore. I wish I could be back in your classroom right now. Everything that he tells you is 100%. Believe him because he's not lying. It's like that. So anything he tells you to help prepare you, take it into consideration because he's 100% correct.
Well, Jelly, I can't tell you how much that means to me. I'm so proud of you. I mean, it's amazing to see, and you're a great mother.
Thank you.
Great person. Obviously we thank you for your service, and you're just such a great example, because you, even like I said, we're on opposite sides of the metro. We're in Northeast Madison County. You're from West Hinds County, but you grew up in the same type of environment. And honestly, we're in Madison County schools, and let's not sugarcoat it. Hinds County does not have what Madison County schools has. So even though you grew up with a little bit less, everybody here is still a young Black student in Mississippi growing up just like you did.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's not a matter of when, or I'm sorry, not a matter of if the obstacles are going to come. It's a matter of when they come. So even if they have no desire to ever go to the military, how can they overcome the same obstacles you face to become as successful as you've become?
My best advice would be to just keep going and try. If you don't have a set path, that's fine. As long as you're making a step to go forward, you'll be okay.
I agree. Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you taking some time for us today. Raymond High School, class of 2015, good bunch of folks. Thank you for
Thank you for having me.
joining us Falcons today up here at Velma Jackson. I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right.
All right, see you later.
Mhm.